honest to God, I sometimes feel like I am Darth Vader. Like I literally envision myself in the whole Darth Vader garb. I'm talking mask, like the cape, the anger, schlepping around in the woods handing out propane tanks to homeless people. Like, I feel like a Darth Vader of good. I'm just pissed and angry, and I'm like, God damn it, your propane, this stupid system's fucked, and women are living on the street, and kids are living in boxes, and nobody gives a fuck, and just, that's how I feel. Like a Darth Vader of good. Like, trying to do good while I'm just pissed off constantly. I have a friend who is helping me think about my anger. She is going through school and learning psychology, and she's like so cool about it, and she's totally not judgmental and just very inviting, and and it makes you want to think about these things. And so she had me write down everything. She's like, here's a big piece of paper, Sage. I want you to write down everything you're angry about. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. Now, there was no prep time, right? There's no Sage, we're going to be doing this. It was kind of like, we were just talking, and she's like, hey, I wanted to do this, or would you be interested? I'm like, heck yeah, I'd like to know what I'm angry about. And so I get this big, huge piece of paper. I mean, it's like those big ones, the big ones, and a big marker. And I'm like, what Sage is angry about? And I'm like, winter. Angry about winter. It's winter. I'm angry because I'm on a diet and I can't have bread. It makes me mad. And then I'm angry there's people living in the woods. And that must have taken me 15 minutes. Those three. And I'm like, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I'm angry about. And she's like, okay, cool. Like, next week we're going to do the next step or whatever. And so I went home, and I'm like, yeah, man, those things really make me mad. And then occasionally I have a hard time sleeping, and I was just thinking about it, and things just started pouring into my head. I have a list of it's ongoing. I don't even think I want to tell you it all. I mean, not that I'm against it. I don't want to. It's a huge list. And it all then culminates of I'm pissed off at the world. The whole world. Just everything makes me angry. Which is ironic because I have a wonderful life. And I don't think I'm an angry person. I don't think my wife would say, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever living with Sage. I'm not that kind of angry. I'm a internal smoldering angry. When you hear me on this podcast, it's more anger and emotional venting than I think anybody close to me would ever get. Part of me feels like this podcast is my therapy, just to say whatever I want. And so, I'm a fun, friendly guy. I'm fun and nice. I'm nice to be around. Typically, I've had this conversation. I'm not going to go there again. But inside, I'm just angry. the truth of the matter is, it all, and if I feel terrible about this, like if my dad's listening, it's you don't need to feel bad. It's just, it all started when I was 7 and things changed drastically. My parents broke up, and that really, I can trace it back to that moment. And I've never, and not that I'm angry at my dad, like it's all, what is that, displacement? I don't know. I don't go to therapy, so I don't know all the cool therapy words. I mean, I think, well, you know how it is, like you get yelled at work and you go home and kick the dog. You know, you've heard that theory, right? So I'll do that, except I don't kick my dog. I would never do that. But like, I'll just be angry at like a machine. Like I'll be angry about something, and then like I'll yell at my phone or my computer or something. I'll kick, symbolically kick my computer. I don't kick things. That's not me. So, I mean, so I just am angry and angry and angry, and then it compounds, and I'm just angry. And as I'm up at like 4:30 in the morning going through my list of all the things I'm angry about, and that's making me angry, and then I'm angry at myself for being so angry, just angry. And then it dawned on me, I'm addicted to being angry. I have a lifelong addiction to anger. I feel like it shapes me. It is me. It is my motivation. It is what pushes me and drives me. There's been several very important times in my life when someone has told me I'm not able to do something, and man, does that make me angry. And then I prove them wrong. I rarely do anything in my work. I mean, I don't want to overstate that, but let me say it this way. Much of my work is me driving because I'm angry, or I'm driven to a specific, I have to get this done. Very little of my work comes from a place of joy and contentment. I'm not content about any of my work. I consider myself a high achiever, and I am not achieving enough. I am smarter, stronger, and better than everything I'm doing right now. And that makes me angry. It makes me angry. I'm in a cyclone of a perpetual anger, somebody that is making electricity by riding a bicycle. It's just coming around and coming around. All this anger is making more anger and making more energy. My anger is my energy. And that reminded me of my alcoholism and how it defined me for 15 years. How I wouldn't be burning as hot. I wouldn't have as much of an open mind. I would not be as vital. All artists that became important during their addiction are terrified that when they quit their addiction, their artistic ability is going to decline. And the truth of the matter is, some do and some don't. I honestly believe Raymond Carver was a better writer when he was drunk. I do. I mean, he wasn't a bad writer when he was sober. I liked his writing better when he was drunk. Bukowski, so great drunk. I don't know if he ever wrote sober. I don't know much about Bukowski. But Jackson Pollock, like the small section of his life where he was sober, he did those incredibly important drip paintings. And then he became a drunk again and then killed people in a car crash, including himself. So sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not true. I can't decide about Stephen King, the horror writer. I don't know. I'm not that close to him. I used to read a lot of Stephen King. I don't know. Maybe some of you know how you feel about Stephen King. Was he a better writer when he was on coke and all that crazy crap? I don't know. I haven't read a lot of Stephen King in a long time. But all of this is masks. The drinking covers up the anger, and the anger covers up the sadness. And I don't know, is the sadness the root of it, or is it just constantly going lower and lower? The anger becomes a drug that gets me out of bed. And makes me achieve, because I'm angry that I'm not achieving to the caliber that I am capable of achieving. I'm angry of everything. There's no limit to the amount of things I'm angry at. And then part of me, so when you're an addict, then you start justifying or making excuses. Well, I've already made some of those excuses. How are you going to get motivated? What if you let go of all your anger and you just become the Dalai Lama and you sit around writing tripish tweets all the time and never accomplish anything? You want to be that, Sage? You want to be the Dalai Lama? No, I do not. No, I do not want to be the Dalai Lama. My heroes are Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John Brown, doers, Harriet Tubman, doers, people that fight and make change. I'm a change agent. It's what I do. I do it in business. I do it in society. And then there's another part of me that's like, well, Sage, you're speaking to the people that are angry. Because not everybody wants to hear sunshine and roses and daffodils and butterflies all the time. Sometimes they want Rage Against the Machine. You know, the band Rage Against the Machine had an audience. And then I'm like, yeah, so what? Do you want me to just lie? Am I just going to pretend now that I'm the Dalai Lama and I'm chill as fuck and nothing bothers me? I'm just like, water off a duck's ass. Nothing bothers me. Or could I become that? Could I transform into the guy that gives no fucks? For sure I could become that guy. For sure. I just keep watching Netflix all day, every day. What problems? What problems? I could stop posting on Twitter and Facebook and these podcasts. I could just live a quiet life, doing some work, going on vacations, and, just sail into the sunset. Ooh, I'm trying a new thing. Hold on. Wait a second. Look. Wait. Bam. Ooh, did you see that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Bam. That's on my phone. Ooh. For all you on the audio, never mind. Don't you worry about that. Which do I like better? Do I like that? I don't know. Maybe I don't like that. Maybe I like that. I think I like that. I don't know what I like. Who would know? Or is there another path? Is there a path of change through calmness? Like Neo from the Matrix. Just transcends the system. Is not even of the system anymore. I don't know if I believe that. I'm exploring it, but I don't understand how I would do that. I've never really seen that. You ever listen to a Martin Luther King speech? He seethes. They did an autopsy of his heart, and he was like 39 when he got assassinated, and they said he was like the heart of a, late 50-year-old or something. He was pissed. Malcolm X was pissed. John Brown was pissed. And so the question is, can I change a lifelong habit or addiction to anger? Or is that me? That I am the angry do-gooder Darth Vader? I already got the hat. Look at me. I'm practically Darth Vader as it's right now as it is. But then what's the opposite of that? So I know what the opposite of it is because I've been studying it. The opposite of it in the Jedi is lack of emotion. Look, I'm just using Star Wars universe rules. In a nutshell, the Sith, Darth Vader, emotional. The Jedi, no emotion. Emotionless. Which is very like Buddhism, where they say life is suffering, desire is suffering. Don't have desires and you won't suffer. It's true. It's true. Is that what we're doing? Are we just supposed to be a starfish on a coral reef somewhere, and if these other species, humans, screw up our complete ecosystem and ruin our coral reef, we just die out and we're like, oh well, whatever. Is that what we are? Is that what a human is? A starfish with no desire? They've lived for millions and millions of years. They seem to be doing quite well. I don't know. Probably lived through this. We are now in the sixth, by the way, we are in the sixth extinction period of the Earth right now. It's just a matter of fact. It's not debatable. There have been 5 extinctions that we know of in the history of Earth, and we are now in the 6th. So what do we do? Just like, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Netflix. Amazon. Or can you make change without outrage, without being sage against the machine? That you are just a force. I mean, I'm telling you, though, change happens through emotion. We aren't Vulcans from Star Trek, emotionless. We are, in fact, the opposite. We are emotional creatures that think. We are not thinking creatures that have emotion. So emotion is us. And therefore, we are closer to the Sith than we are to the Jedi. Except the Buddhists, who are trying to be Jedis. I think. They still kill people, though, Jedi. I don't really get it. I guess they just, like, they're given a mission and they accomplish the mission. Like, go kill Darth Vader. I will go kill Darth Vader. Like, you know, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't seem quite human, does it? Or is it? Is it our evolution? Is it where we're supposed to be? I have a point to having this conversation. We need to talk honestly about addiction. Because I see a lot of people judging addicts. That guy's just a meth head. That girl just constantly does slow and shooting heroin and fentanyl. Actually, I don't think there's heroin anymore. I don't know. Can you get heroin anymore? I don't think so. I think it's just all fentanyl. I don't know. And why? Why? I guess I think I have a theory. Because then it solves all the problems. If you can look at somebody and be like, loser, then you can walk away. You got no problems. I hear it all the time about people that don't want to give money to panhandlers. I just saw somebody, none of those panhandlers are really homeless. They're getting just tax-free money, man. Living the good life, man. It's a scam. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. But we do it, I think, to justify our lack of action. Ooh, and we do it the other way, too. People tell me all the time how great I am. Oh, Sage, you're so good. Wow, you're a saint. You know why they say that? So they don't have to do anything. Solves a lot of problems, doesn't? When Sage is a saint. Solves a lot of problems when Jesus is a God. Can't be like Jesus. Don't be stupid. He's a God. He is God. He's not a God. He's the God. Of course he's great. Problem solved. You can now resume being a piece of shit. And anybody that you see doing good, you're like, oh, that's a do-gooder. Oh, wow, they're so good. And then that instantly gets you off the hook. So we have all these instant reflexes where we are like, piece of shit, drug addict, loser, problem solved. Do-gooder, saint, problem solved. And then you can resume without any sense of guilt watching Netflix. I'm too busy. I don't know how you have all the time. How do you have that time? I'm too busy. That's the answer. I'm too busy. They're all cop-outs. All of them. Every one of them is a cop-out. Everyone is a cop-out. Because we all are addicted on the bad side. You cannot tell me you don't have an addiction. You can't. I've never met anybody that is completely in control of their life. If they're that control their life, they're addicted to power and control and discipline. And it's equally as bad. You're always in a constant state of balancing your life with things. Exercise, but don't exercise too much. Do you know you can die from drinking too much water? We have to stop judging people because it is just perpetuating a cycle that is damaging the entire fabric of society. It's easy to let somebody freeze to death on the street because they're a no-good addict. It's easy to let a mom and her kids sleep in their car because the mom is lazy. We have all these tools at our instant disposal to right the wrongs, so we end up not having to do anything. It's one of the reasons I talk about my addiction so much, because it's pretty hard for people to come at me and be like, Sage is a loser. But I'm just human. And I'm just on the loser spectrum like all of us. I'm as much of a loser as you. And you're a loser too. I'm sorry. And when you judge people, you become a worse problem than the addict, because you are now propping up systems of hate and bigotry. We have to get beyond this idea that we understand everybody, that Democrats hate Republicans, Republicans hate Democrats. Everybody on the other side's a piece of shit, loser, snowflake. Everybody's a snowflake now. Now we have okay boomer. Okay, and that just instantly negates an entire generation. And we do it all the time. The cool people with now the okay boomer thing. Those are the cool people. It's cool to say that now. And then you get to just disregard an entire generation and just let them rot as they slowly die off. Because, okay, boomer. You're just like, whatever, boomer. You cannot judge people by their age or their sex or their race. Any of these external things. It always has to come down to the content of their character. And I know pieces of shit. There are people I hate. And I don't hate the mayor. I'm not talking about Mayor Horgan. Some really piece of shit drug dealers, for example. Real fuckers. Because all they care about is money, and they'll kill people and laugh in your face as you die. They're pieces of shit and they can fuck themselves. People that walk into churches shooting other people, they can fuck themselves. I don't care if you have a mental illness or not. Walk into a building with civilians, you're a piece of shit. And I hate you. I don't care if you're a Muslim or a Christian, I hate you. Walk into a school, I don't care if you're 15 years old, and start shooting up people, you're a piece of shit and I hate you. And I want to see you dead. That's what I want to see. Content of your character. You can't be like, well, all white 15-year-old boys are pieces of shit. No. All people that play video games are murderers. No. You have to do harder work than that. You have to work through these mental issues one person at a time. Yes, there are pieces of shit, and I am happy to call them out on it. But you aren't a piece of shit because you have a drug addiction and you're homeless. That doesn't make you a piece of shit. I'm not saying you aren't a piece of shit, but I'm not saying you're not also an incredibly great person either. I don't know. You show me a drug addict, homeless person, and I don't know if they're a good or bad person. I don't know. I know they're addicted to drugs. And wouldn't you be? You're living in Ohio? Wouldn't you be? We have to judge people by the content of their character. That hasn't solved my addiction to anger, but I just wanted to use it as a platform to talk about my current addiction. I'm addictive personality, which I think most people are. Addicted to sugar, coffee, politics. And maybe if you can see your own addiction, it'll make it a little bit easier for you to empathize for people that have other addictions. I hate looking at fat people who berate drug addicts, and they don't think they're a drug addict. Their drug is food, baby. It's food, and it probably kills way more people than meth. Oh, 100% more than meth. 100%. Way more. You and your Big Mac fetish. All right, everybody. That's the end of this sage on the couch as he divulges all of his innermost secrets. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.